It's Movie Time is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. For their details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.org.
The award-winning It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Hope Madden.
This is It's Movie Time. Hope, is it absolutely fabulous?
It's moderately fabulous.
All right, this is a film, a Brit import on an old TV show. Isn't it? It's got to be like 20 years old.
Well, it's funny. The show Absolutely Fabulous, it premiered, I think, in '92, but it has had sporadic and very popular, like, resurfacings for the last 20 years.
Okay. So the basic premise is?
Two completely wrong-minded best friends who drink a lot of Bollinger, smoke a lot of cigarettes, pop a lot of pills, and try to be famous.
I was thinking Sinatra would call them old broads.
Could be, yeah.
I mean, Patsy.
Joanna Lumley, she's the one for me. She's the one I love. So I kind of want to grow up to be her.
She's an angular blonde, about 70 years old. And Jennifer, who wrote this, is about 60, I would guess.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah, they're both, they're both, I think, throwbacks from sort of the mod set from the 60s in London. That would be my guess. And they're still trying to keep the party going.
I'll tell you, I hope my eyes are just wide open, like saying, is this real? Because, Hope, I just couldn't connect with the jokes. Now, maybe I was taking offense at...
They are offensive.
I mean, they constantly slam senior status. I mean, she has one speech, Jennifer has one speech, in which she says she wished she weren't so fat and old. And
she just always didn't want to be fat and old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all she wanted, and to keep the party going.
I know, right? and I just got
Poor Eddie Monsoon.
I guess there. So, yeah, for me, that was the prevailing motif, the through line for it. And after a while, I got, everybody gets old. Get over it.
Well, I think from the beginning of the series, that is actually the joke. I mean, I think their point is that they are making fun of, they are wildly mocking the sort of, love of celebrity and quest to remain young and relevant and hip.
Right.
Which is why, I mean, there's the one scene, they come home, you don't know what they've come home from, but they've come home from something. It's broad daylight and they're just getting home and they sort of pass out and wake up and just start injecting their face. Like, as opposed to washing their face and brushing their teeth, they're just injecting their face.
Botox, I have to admit. It's like you'd be brushing your teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
Your Botox. I have to admit that was. Now, if, like me, you're sitting there like a curmudgeon, because I'm tough on comedy anyway, and I'm not getting it. I understand it, but I'm not getting it. But then, of course, there's some eye candy there. There's some shots of London, my favorite city, so I'm happy. And then Cannes. I mean, you got some really nice stuff going on.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And Hope, I would think, more cameos than any movie in the last 10 years.
I agree. It was cameo-tastic. And I think at a certain point, needlessly so, and I felt eventually as if it was just filler, because it is a very slight plot.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I think, they just had that. We need like 10 more minutes. What's John Hamm doing right now? Can he come in and just,
And Hamm was about one of the first celebrities, and he was good.
Oh, yeah.
But he had more than anybody else.
Yeah. Well, he's great in roles like that. I mean, he's great.
And I did see a fleeting look at Joan Collins.
Yes. Which was a funny gag. That was a funny bit right there.
So here I am. Why wasn't I laughing like this at the movie? I don't know, because when you repeat it, it sounds more fun to me than when I see them. So maybe it was culture shock for me.
It might be. And I also think they had some problems going into it, because the show is very rooted in the 90s. And even though they've updated it quite a bit, they're basically irrelevant at this point, because anybody can be their own PR, which is what Eddie Monsoon does for a living. Because of social media. You don't need, so she's become irrelevant, but still the jokes were very rooted in the 90s. It was all about Kate Moss, and it was, a lot of the jokes, I have to think anybody under 30 is not going to understand.
Well, I think
especially the sight gags.
Her client is Lulu.
Right. Right. Baby Spice.
Right. Baby
right.
Spice. Holy crap, that's that's history. But it is also funny. I'll be darned, for a movie I didn't like, here I am saying, and it was really, when she pushes Kate, or when Kate Moss goes into the Thames, it's arguable as to whether Eddie pushed her or not, but I think she did.
Yeah.
That is kind of funny. I mean, very funny.
Well, and then when they decided to take things into their own hands and go search for her, that I found almost shockingly terrible what they did. I mean, they're like the most charmingly horrible human beings in the world, which I love.
All right, so to get more serious about it, this is another variation of the buddy film.
Yes, it absolutely is. Yes.
And have we had anything recently, or can you think of anything within the last several years that compares with this?
I mean, I don't know that there are any that are anywhere near this zany, and I think whether male or female oriented, you are going to be hard pressed to find a buddy film where the buddies have more chemistry or are more believably enabling of each other than these two.
Yeah.
But you know, you had mentioned Ghostbusters really at its
Yes,
heart
that's
is
right,
a bit of a buddy film, and of course, actually, Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock are in The Heat, which is also
Yes.
a really good,
Yeah.
very funny buddy film.
Yeah. Can anything beat Thelma and Louise?
No.
It can't really. Can
No.
And there are some humorous moments in Thelma and Louise.
Oh,
aren't there?
there are, and I can't repeat them.
I
Those
know,
lines,
yeah.
the ones that jump to my head anyway. But yeah, there definitely are.
Because we
And of
tend to
course,
think of it as serious and feminist and all this, when in fact
Yeah.
it was funny. At
it
the
was
time.
funny. But a lot of road adventure buddy flicks do have that kind of dangerous humor about them. Otherwise, the characters aren't interesting. And of course, fantastic performances in that movie really elevated it.
Yeah. Sex in the City?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. You're not, and I've seen it very little, so we can't call that. Is there anything else that I'm thinking of the female side?
Right. Actually, post Heat, I think Hollywood churned out a handful, and the only one I can think off the top of my head, I can't think of the name of it, had Reese Witherspoon and Sofia Vergara, and it was just god awful.
All right.
So I worry with the popularity of the film The Heat. I think Hollywood was like, we got to do this right now, and then
Yeah.
they did it poorly. But then that happens with any genre, any gender.
Kind of related to that would be Bridesmaids in a different way. It's not
Yeah.
because it doesn't always have to be a journey.
Right.
It doesn't always have to be the two of them on the road to do something.
No, exactly.
So Bridesmaid to me is a fine example of doing something contemporary with women.
Mm-hmm.
And just as Ghostbusters in a less way, but Bridesmaids is just...
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids is a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anything else that we can... I even made up a list of some. There's an old one that I like. You probably not even seen it. 1937, Stage Door.
I have not seen it.
Right.
I mean, I know that title, but I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
and that's Kate Hepburn and
Okay.
Lucille Ball.
Nice.
And they're all ladies in a boarding house, and they're all actresses.
How much would you love to hang out with those two?
Oh my gosh! I mean, really and truly, and that's your point about chemistry, isn't it?
Yeah.
There is something indefinable about it,
It's true.
and you are absolutely correct about these two. These two ladies are going to go to their graves together.
Yes.
And they are going to be busting chops all the way to that point. Okay, Hope Madden, the film is absolutely fabulous. What grade would you award it?
I'm going to give it a B-, I think.
Good for you. And as you can tell, I'm resisting this film and trying to, of course, be a cute critic and say absolutely awful. But absolutely fabulous. Does have some moments, and I have to say a C+ is probably right. So we're really close. But I'll tell you, one of the reasons I love having you on the show is that you always get me to appreciate something, and when it's funny, we do have a good time.
It's true.